Hey y'all, welcome to another conversation with Straight Out the Group Chat. Um, we're doing part two tonight. I talked about it last week. I wanted to do a part two, talking to men that had to grow up with that fathers that chose to be absent. So I wanted to get them on here. So I got my friends on here, Lando and Blue on here, talking about their experience growing up. So we getting right into it, y'all. Make sure y'all comment, like, share, subscribe to the content, and yeah. So how y'all feeling tonight? Y'all feeling good or y'all feeling a little?
I'm feeling
Y'all ready to
good.
cut somebody out?
I'm feeling good. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? You see what I got. You see what I got. I'm ready. I'm on that type of time.
Period. Tell it like it TI is.
Let's
So,
go.
the first thing is, so we already kind of talked about this off the thing, but I'm gonna ask you first, Lando. How is your relationship with your dad at this point in your life?
Well, at this point in my life, I mean, it's like kind of like stagnant. You know what I'm saying? It's like an in and out type of thing. We really don't talk unless it's like family events, family occasions, funerals, weddings. It's not like I'm reaching out to him now. He's reaching out to me, text messaging, how you doing? How your day go? What you doing this weekend? Let's go grab drinks. None of that. That's the type of relationship. That's where we stand right now.
Mm. And then what about you, Blue? With you and your dad?
Man, I would say mine is just non-existent. Like
Man.
before we came on here, I told you how long the intervals in between years it's been. So yes, it's non-existent.
So, like, how does that make you feel?
Today, at 40
Yeah.
years of good life,
Yeah.
uh, I I don't feel anything. Not really, as I think about it today.
Yeah.
Um, I do remember when I was 20, 26, 27 years old, like I was having a fucking night, like a night.
Hmm.
And I called my mom at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I remember I cried and I asked her why he didn't want me,
Mm.
right? I was grown at that point, like living on my own, paying my own bills, whatever. But it had just got real that night. And it was during the time in which I really could have used that support. You know what I mean? But it wasn't there that night. And I can say a lot of things about my mother, but one thing I will say is that she can't be a man. So, her words were her words, but they provided no solace to me. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it was just kind of one of those things to where, it took me a little while after that to process. And I went through all the stages of grief and what felt like loss. Um, and after, years and therapy and doing my own thing, I'm at peace with it today.
Mm. And then what about you, Lando? Like, how do you feel with it now?
Um, like now, I kind of like blocked it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in a loving home. You know what I'm saying? A loving family. I got all loving support. My siblings, mother, grandfather, grandparents.
Hmm.
But it does it does something when you don't have what I'm saying, both parties involved. Like say for example, like growing up, certain things that that parents miss that they need to be there for. You know what I'm saying? Two people make a child. Two people make a child. So two parties should be, in a child's life at all times. You know what I'm saying? So one, that's just like anything. When you have a whole thing, right? When something falls apart or something's missing, it falls apart kinda, right? Until you build it back up. But so growing up, I just kind of like dismissed it, really didn't like feel anything until, certain things had like took a place and just realizing that they wasn't there. I didn't realize it for a while because my mom been doing this thing for a long. She been taking care of all her kids for all my life. So it's just
Hmm.
like he was missing, but he wasn't missing. if
Gotcha.
that makes sense. But deep down inside, um, it's just like where you at. You know what I'm saying? Where you been? That type of thing. So I feel, I don't have no feelings towards it right now. Just being like neutral. Not bashing anybody or anything like that. For the ones who watching, not here to bash nobody, but it just is what it is.
That's all it is.
Men, little boys, they need their fathers. Just point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it just is what it is. Y'all need to be there. And when I see men or guys who have kids and stuff like that, and I see they're not in their children's lives, it's just like, what are you doing? They weren't asked to be, wasn't asked to be here. We're not asked to be here. So you know what I'm saying. You took the responsibility to lay down and do what you want to do. So now you have a 18-year-old responsibility.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a
But
life. It's it's
it's either
it's a
you,
lifelong responsibility.
yeah, yeah. It's either you fail, you choose to do what's right, or you just fail to just not do anything at all. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. I mean, it's cool.
Right. So, so by y'all being men, how has it shaped your relationships when it comes to like, I guess, personal relationships? Has it like get like affected you when it comes to having trust issues, self esteem? Like, has that had an impact on you by your dad choosing to be absent out of your life?
For me, I would say not really, because I was able to have male influences around. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Plenty of figures that I could point to that are the walking example of what it should look like, smell like, work like, all of that every day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not to say that I went without in that regard. Um, but there's something to be said about the personable experience that and that bond that you create and that you foster with someone. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah. What about you, Lando? Did it make you feel like any type of way, like with your self esteem, how you saw yourself, your self worth in your
Um,
relationships?
Well, I will say this. I've always been a person who always held like a high self esteem. I've never like struggled in that area. So I really didn't battle that way, you know what I'm saying? Because my mom held her ground. Again, I just have to, piggyback and just keep saying my mom, because that's
Mm-hmm.
just who was there. You know what I'm saying? She raised me to be the man who I am today.
Right.
That's how I know how to be a man, because of my mom. She's, you know what I'm saying? She's a woman, but she taught me how to be a man. That's powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Hmm.
big thing
Yeah.
for a woman to teach a man to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
Think about
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
So it really didn't play on my ego, or not my ego, but my self esteem or anything like that growing up. But it was just, sometimes it's just be in the back of my mind, like, dang, I really don't have my father. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really don't. I can't call him and be like, Dad, what's up? Come get me. Boom. Like, say for instance, like when I was talking to you earlier, like I used to play football when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I used to see everybody's, parents in the stadium. Um, you know, two parts: mom, dad, or it was just mom, or just dad. You know what I'm saying? My mama never missed a game. My mama always made it. She was at work. She was getting off of work early to make sure she came to my game. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
I remember him coming to a few of them, but you know what I'm saying. As a progressive, just like, I want you to see me on the field. You know what I'm saying. This is
Yeah.
I'm doing this to make you happy. Really, at that time,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. I'm doing this to make, try to make my parents proud. And
Yeah.
then I look up, see my mom, cheering, but it's just like, it's like a it's like a stadium full of people, but you looking for that one person to be there, and they're not in the stands, but you looking, and they're
That's
not there, and you
The
want to
long
still trying to still play football. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
now that type of self esteem, I would say,
Yeah, it's
it kind
still
of
up
aided
here.
me like then younger, but like, what I'm saying, as I grew older, it was just like, okay, cool. But back then, I feel like that's probably where I dealt with it the most. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not seeing him be there, early years. You know what I'm saying? Helping me pick out my prom outfits. You know what I'm saying? Things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
I gotta say though, I do struggle with it sometimes today, and here's how. So
Mm-hmm.
we can be having, like I just told you guys before we came on, we were having the Secret Santa conversations, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know that when all of that comes to fruition, it is going to bring those positive male members that I learned from over the years out. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's also going to put me in a space because my male figure is not there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I could be randomly in public, going about my day at work, whatever, from time to time, and I'll see something. I'll see a father and their child in the grocery store, or I'll see a father and his son playing basketball in the park or whatever, and that will trigger, thoughts in my mind, kind of like, damn. But then you move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like an afterthought at that point. So that's how, just for me, that's how it affects me today.
Yeah. My brother said, "Man, I can speak on that. I used to run my ass off hoping that man would show up." My mama said that one time he did. My mama was ready. so, so growing up, like, do y'all feel like by your father choosing to be absent, do you feel like you missed out on anything being, you know, not having, I guess, your dad around? Do you feel like you missed any type of connection, like emotionally or any type of level?
Of course, you know what I'm saying. You always want every son would want, you know what I'm saying, a father son relationship. That's just is what it is. You know what I'm saying.
Right.
That's where you will get that bond from. You will,
Right.
that's what we crave. You know what I'm saying. As kids, we look up to our fathers first, our parents, our mothers, fathers. I want to be like my mom. I want to be like my dad. So that's just what I feel. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you?
Repeat the question, because
So
I'm a
it's
little high. So a little high.
I
So
said,
repeat the
I
question.
said, I said, do you feel like you missed out on anything by your dad choosing to be absent?
I missed out on so much shit I can't even count and name with y'all right now. And this is just me speaking on the number of things that I can name, the number of things that I can't, that maybe would have been a surprise to me.
Yeah.
There's just it's an the answer is infinite. You know what I mean? I did
Mm-hmm.
miss out on a lot of things, and that just kind of to me speaks to the grandiosity of the situation. Why you should be there even more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I missed out on shit. But with my own kid these days, like I just try to be that much more thoughtful and intentional about those type of interactions and my time with him,
Mm-hmm.
just so number one, to overcompensate for what I lost, but number two, to actually show him that, hey, yeah, this shit exists, it is normal, and we, regardless of whether we're gonna have it.
True.
You miss out. I think you miss out on a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because well, I just keep saying 18, but it's more further than you just your child turning 18. It's
Yeah.
a lifelong thing. But 18 years is a long time for you to, you know what I'm saying, mold and groom a son. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To me, now I'm thinking about the question because I lost track on that question.
Yeah.
You miss out on a lot. You know what I'm saying? You miss out on your dad teaching you how to throw the football. You miss out on your dad teaching you about safe sex. You know what I'm saying? You miss out on your dad teaching you the right way to go. Don't go this way. Don't do gangs. Don't, you know what I'm saying? I want you to be in school, motivating. You miss out on those type of things. You know what I'm saying? So things that count. You miss out on just like him being there overall. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if a person is not strong enough, they could break.
Yeah.
Me, I feel like I was a strong child. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
know why. I don't know why God built me this way.
Yeah.
But I grew up strong,
Yeah.
strong in all aspects. You know what I'm saying? So I carried my burdens, some of my mom's burdens,
Mm.
my siblings' burdens. I felt like everything, came on me. So I am. the matriarch of my family. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I have to be strong. I have to be a father figure for someone someday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though I don't want no kids, but
Yeah.
I still am a father figure to somebody. And it's so
Right.
crazy because I can say I'm a father when I'm not really a father, and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't taught to be a father. But how I know how to be a father is because of a woman.
Mm, that's
It's some,
crazy.
it's some serious shit.
It
That's some
is.
serious shit.
And it goes so deep, y'all. And I don't want to get off track, but like I was talking about last week, when on here, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's I mean, that level of rejection, that stuff can go on for generations. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that people need to understand, like, whether it's a mother or a father, specifically, we're talking about fathers, we're talking about the men's aspect. But man, y'all gotta take this stuff serious now. And then that's just it. So, okay, so what would y'all say if you were talking to your father? Like if you had a one-on-one with him, what would y'all say? Hold on, before y'all answer that, I'm about to get my brother on here. Now, my brother, he cut from a different cloth, but I'm finna get him on here because he want to hop on. So
Oh, you
let me
about to
see.
bring Trev? Oh, Trev, I thought Trev didn't want to be on.
I'm about to get him
Oh,
on.
Trev got something to say now.
He gonna talk now. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. How can I
Come on,
do
you
it?
want to take a shot with me?
Wait a minute.
Y'all, my mama is just sitting here right beside me listening.
Hey,
Yeah.
mama.
Hey, Miss Charlene. I'm coming to your
How
party.
y'all doing?
I'm good. Okay. So I just sent my brother the link. So I forgot what the question was, but somebody said, "What up, Trev?" Miss Tanya said, "I don't want to talk to him." Miss Denisha said, "Speak." Yeah, we're talking freely tonight, so it is what it is. But yeah, so I'm gonna start with you, Blue. If you had one thing to say to your daddy right now, what would you say to him?
I don't know. That's a difficult fucking question. Like I really don't know. And one thing to know about my father these days, I have a lot of family on both sides, and I'm fortunate and blessed for that. They keep me abreast on his, shenanigans, his life, stuff like that. And I don't ask because I don't really care. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But they find it to be their mission to keep doing that because somebody or whatever is telling them that they should be that person to me. But he today, from what I'm told by family members and otherwise, is a very religious man, right? And he was never that, up until like maybe 10 years ago.
Mhm.
So it surprised me one day when I was on a random church spiritual journey
Mhm.
and I was church hopping, and I just so happened to hop into the church that he went to.
Oh
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah. So I'm in there. I see him and his fucking wife, and it was like I felt at that point it was just the feeling of dread. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I sat there for as long as I could, and that was all of about 4 fucking minutes. And I got up and I walked out.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to sit here and process what I was thinking as that happened and to reflect on it, it brought up feelings of betrayal, and one that God couldn't even speak to me about at that particular point.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this real quick. In that 4 minutes, you felt all those feelings in 4 minutes. That's you walking down the aisle, getting to your seat, right? So as soon as you see him, you start to feel stuff.
Yeah, immediately. You know what I mean? So yes, I went through the 5 stages of grief all over again, and that in that
Yeah.
4 minutes, processed them all, left, and I just sat in the car for a little bit, and I was kind of like, all right, that just happened. And, maybe an hour or two later, it was out of my system and life continued. You know what I mean? So getting back to the question, what would I say to him? I have no fucking clue, to be honest.
Damn.
Mhm.
One word. Why? Nice fucking. Trey, what would you say to your daddy?
I think I,
Come on
I
now,
can't I can't
keep
take
it.
Trev serious.
where
He
you
the one
wanted it?
getting out of that wall.
Yeah, what
Look,
is that
it's D
background?
block.
Where is I can't take you serious right
It's D
now.
block. It's D block. Hey, look,
Oh my God.
how you want me to keep it? G, PG, or NC-17? What you want?
I mean, you could just talk. Just say whatever you want.
I am extremely grateful that that man was a piece of shit. And the reason why I say I'm extremely grateful for that is that my mama always stood on business. Y'all know my mama. My mama stood on business. My mama made sure that we did. You know, you get some people that they scream this single mother stuff, and whatever. My mom ain't getting nothing from this man at all in child support. I think whenever child support did come, it was in the amount of $55 a month. So Kathy went out and worked 2-3 jobs to make sure me and my sister had. And yeah, I'm also thankful the fact that he wasn't around. I got to know, or became the son rather. I gained a father, and Sterling Gill, Sterling the Pearl.
Yeah.
That's my motherfucking man.
Yeah.
Won't nobody ever be able to tell me that that's not my pops.
Yeah.
Uh, when you talk about some of the things that y'all talk about, Lando, you was talking about sex and stuff I could not talk to Kathy about. Sterling was there. Sterling
Mm-hmm.
tried to teach me how to change brakes. Shit, I'm not mechanical at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit. Sterling was at them football games.
It
I caught
was.
my black ass trying to wrestle one time. Sterling was there. Watched me
Mm-hmm.
get pinned in 35 seconds. He was
Yeah.
there. He
Not
was there.
35.
He was
Not
out there for
35
that.
seconds.
He was out there for all that. So
Yeah.
a lot of times it's the fact of being there. My mama never stopped nobody from being in their kid life. Never. Right. So you get some people that do that these days, or they try to use the child as a leverage point. I'm not gonna go too far into that because I think y'all might know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? But but you get people that do that. Kathy never did that. Kathy never did that. So I've I've told I told the man. I told the man
Yeah.
straight up. You're a piece of shit, but I appreciate you for being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for
So
not being there. And you are forgiven. That's the key thing right there is forgiveness. So once you tell somebody you forgive them, they don't have their hooks on you no more.
true.
That's the
Thank
key.
you for not being. If that man would have been here, I'd probably still be in Thomasville. There ain't nothing wrong with being in Thomasville, but I'd probably be in Thomasville. I'd probably be deep in the system. You talk about things like that, man. My mama put so much foundation up under me and my sister. Ain't no way in the hell that was gonna happen. And like
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't want nobody to think that the fact I said still in Thomasville. When I say still in Thomasville, I'm talking about selling dope, getting locked up, doing all the rest of that shit. It ain't nothing wrong with being in Thomasville. So don't turn my words and twist it.
Right.
And I cuss at you if
Uh,
you do.
Yeah.
nobody want to live in Thomasville.
Don't start because it's all Thomasville on here tonight.
I'm saying
What's
nobody
up?
really
You
want
know
to
what I'm
live in
saying?
Thomasville, man.
Thomasville
Oh,
Greg, what's up?
It's
Lando,
all
you
Thomasville on here
straight.
tonight.
Hey, look, I ain't never going back, man. I go see mom and go see granny. I
I
ain't never
feel
going
you.
back.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
So Lando, what would you say to your daddy, Lando, if you had the opportunity, given the opportunity to talk to him? What would you say to him?
Well, I do have the opportunity. So okay, so this is the thing. He's like not totally absent, right?
Okay.
He's like in and out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was to say to him right now, it's like I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what to say to like start a conversation. He has to say something to me to start a conversation because we don't have that chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or every time we're together, it's just like family functions. It's never like a one-on-one thing. So it's just like if I was to say something, because like all my years of growing up, like mom was telling me like when he told me he was like when I was graduating, he was gonna get me a car, and he never got me that car. I cussed him out. You know what I'm saying? When I graduated, he came to my cookout, and we got into an altercation because this is when I stopped talking to him for like 6 or 7 years,
Oh wow.
I was at my graduation
Come
cookout.
on, my type
He
of
came
guy.
to my cookout. You know what I'm saying? I invited him to the cookout. He came. You know, back then the Mohawks was in, right?
Okay.
I had got a Mohawk.
Mm-hmm.
He had said something to the effect to where, why you got that faggot ass haircut?
Uh-uh.
Mind you, you already know how I'm set up. By 12th grade, I'm already on that.
Yeah.
I'm already on that. My mom can't stop me now. You know what I'm saying? I'm already on that. So from then, it was just like, who you think you talking to? A haircut is a haircut. You know what I'm saying? A haircut, Mohawks was in at that time.
Right.
Whatever I choose to do on my own, you know what I'm saying? In my room, it has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
for
it.
you to call, so now you're calling me a faggot. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
now we got an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got an issue.
Yeah.
So you just called your son a faggot. So we
Yeah.
had that, you know, that exchange, custom slap out, move, get off my mama's yard. I'm be at my mama house. Everybody, my whole class is out there, my people, all that. We having a good time.
This was during the cookout.
You fucked up my night. Sorry, mom. Sorry, mom. Sorry, mom.
This was during the
You
cookout.
fucked up my night. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a good time. That's where it goes back to where you were saying the feels. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You played with my feelings that day. You should that should have never came out your mouth. Whether you
At
was
all.
feeling that or thinking that, then it should have never came out your mouth.
At all.
You are my father. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So even after that, after that, when I moved, I want nothing to do with you. It took me 6 years to talk back to this man.
Mm-hmm.
6 years. I don't want you calling he calling my phone. He calling my sisters, calling my brothers, trying to get in touch with me. I do not want to talk to you because you violated me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So,
Dang.
what I would say to him now, but let's go back to it. So, what I would say to him now, I have plenty of opportunities to see him. I'll tell y'all this one thing real quick. Um, my grandmother just passed. His mother's just passed.
Mm.
Went to the funeral, you know, boom, 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 boom. 2 days after the funeral, I'm still in Thomasville. Um, I went to go to Zaxby's to get some food. He was sitting down at Zaxby's with a lady. Um, he saw me. I saw him at my peripheral, but I just didn't know if that was him or not. But I was just like, it looks like him, so I noticed him. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I get back to the car, he texts me. He was just like, how long you gonna be in town? What the fuck you mean? How long I'm gonna be in town? Why you didn't call me and say, son, come here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Yeah.
the weird exchange. The weird exchange is
Weirdo.
like
Yeah.
you don't know how to be a father to me
Yeah. I was about to
as
say.
well as
Yeah.
I don't know how to be a son to you because you didn't build
Exactly.
that foundation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You had to build that foundation because number one, you made me. I
Yes.
didn't ask to be
Ooh,
here. You know what I'm saying?
ooh,
So
can I piggyback?
go ahead, do your thing.
Because your words is they're sitting in me real special right now, and here's why.
It's hitting that
In the
spirit real
limited,
good.
is the limited interactions that I've had with my father. Every time the conversation ended the same way. You can always reach out to me,
Come on. Come on
Man,
now.
come on. They got to stop that.
We got to
They got
and
to
stop this
stop
and
shit
that.
and
now.
They got to
I
stop that for real.
I swear to God, I want to cuss him out every time I see him and he says that to me, because I've
You
always held
should.
the opinion that, you know what, if it were me, there's no way that I would ever tell my son that,
Ain't no way.
ever.
Ain't
Ain't
no
no way.
way.
My mama still tries to teach
So
I be wanting to know what they be thinking though. Like, what you thinking about? Like, what you
I
got going on?
It's a
To where you
that
narcissist.
don't want to be there
fucking
for your
you know what
child. You know what I'm saying?
you
What
know
are
what
you
he's got
thinking?
going on. He's got that fucking wife going on. That's what he's got going on,
Uh-oh.
and that's always been his problem. If we gonna get into the history of shit, you know what I mean.
Okay.
But it's those people in your life that are in your ear. Not everybody need to be in your fucking ear, because
Yeah.
you let shit like this happen and compound over now 40 years. And you wonder why when I see you in public, I look at you crazy, but I give you a hug anyway.
you better than me because I ain't hugging shit. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. Hey, look, you are forgiven, but stay the fuck away from me.
No, that's fair.
Stay away. Stay away.
That's fair.
Oh God, that's
So
funny.
How do we get there? You know what I'm saying? How do we get to a place to where you're more concerned about a woman than your child?
For real.
Your
Because
blood,
it's happening
your
every
seed.
day.
Like, come on now.
But like
That's
I said, the
crazy.
last time we was on here, y'all, what these women, come on, women. Men don't take care of their kids. They're not quality men. I'm sorry.
I can't relate.
I mean,
Women.
I think it's like, you know what I'm saying, it's mixed. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna just say that it's just because our fathers were in our lives. Not saying that it's not fathers they're taking care of their children. It's men out there who are doing more than what they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
We talking about strictly the men that choose to be absent from their kids' lives. That's what we talking about.
Okay.
Not the men that take care of their kids. Hats off.
Keyword choose.
Yeah, choose. Because that's a choice. So Miss Lewis said, so can one of the men answer this? Can I just text my sperm donor and say, I forgive you and leave it at that?
What type of answer you want? You want it from one of them or you want it from me?
Girl, Trip, you go first, Trip.
We want it from you.
I don't even know. I mean, what grudge you got against the man? I mean, the man wasn't there. I mean, shit, fuck him. Hell, how did the child turn out? You can easily tell that man, thank you, fuck you, and move around. That's what I did. Thank you for nothing.
Thank you for showing me how not to be. Actually,
hell yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this, Trev. How do you get to that point to where you just like, okay, so thank you, but fuck you?
Man, it take time. I'm in therapy still, boy. It take time. It take a lot of time.
I think it's gonna be a lifelong thing. I really do.
Yeah, that's still one of the things in therapy. I really don't like talk. I tell him all the time, I don't want to talk about my mama, baby daddy. That's what he called. My mama, baby daddy.
You the baby?
My mama, baby daddy. That's what he called. My mama, baby daddy. Shit, I still don't like talking about that man. I don't. But at the same time, you got to move. Look, what can I complain about? You know what I'm saying? My kids. One of my big things is that you will not have a chance to treat my kids the way that you treat me. If there's a hint, a signal, a sign, a flag, I don't give a damn what color the flag is. We moving around. They won't ever know you. Mm-hmm. And I think the only one that knows him, and that's just because Jalen is in Thomasville, is Jalen. My kid, Amari and Junior couldn't point that nigga out of that lineup right now, probably. They might look at the nose and be like, oh shit, that might be him right there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's all about, man. It's about protecting your space and your peace, man. Like I can't really, the stuff that I could complain about, where it's gonna get me.
That's it.
I mean, I live nice. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. That's his loss. My daughter has straight A's right now at Bethune-Cookman on a full ride. If y'all don't know, Bethune-Cookman is a private college.
Oh,
Jalen mad at me
blessings to her.
Yeah, Jalen mad at me right now, but he doing good in school. Shit, the one that I'm also worried about is this damn junior. So, but yeah, man, I'm these kids is good, man. I'm good.
How many kids you got?
3. Don't act like that now, Lando. I ain't out here populating the world now.
I'm just saying. Okay, Shay, I don't want to take over, but I want to go a little deeper.
Go ahead.
So I want to ask the fellas on here, could y'all share like a time to where that you were really let down from your father?
I'll let him go first.
Go ahead, Blue, because
we never got to the point to where anything that he said or did would be a letdown because there was not much of it to begin with. So there was already not much stock put into that man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So seeing as though I didn't allow that to manifest and I didn't psych myself out and get, happy or sad or whatever when something was said and it wasn't done, It really didn't happen like that for me.
So
Well,
you didn't have no energy behind it.
Nah, not at all.
Okay, that's
Like
fair. What about
look. I'll be honest. If the nigga died tomorrow, I might show up at his funeral for other people.
only
for
way I'm
other
going to get.
people?
Look,
For other
time
people.
out.
That's it.
So to touch on that before I jump into what Lando asked, the only way I'm going is if mine men make me go or my granny, and I ain't wishing death on
Hey,
nobody, but
hey,
I don't intend on going. I don't have no funds. If I don't get no Social Security number, I ain't got shit for nobody because these
We all
insurance policies. I need a lick off the insurance policy to be honest. Let's keep it. Let's
and
keep it a big.
that would be the only redemption that I would be acceptable. That would be acceptable to me.
I need
Cut
to get.
me in on that McMansion that you got over there in Trinity, and
Uh,
consider
Nah,
it penance for what you owe me.
this nigga ain't got no mansion. I don't think he too much got two pots to piss in and a window to throw it out. However, let me start the policy. Give me a Social Security number, son. Let me start a policy that way. I get me a little bag on the way out, and that's just honest.
Straight like that.
that's just that.
I
Yeah,
mean, that's
Straight
just
like
it.
that.
I
That's
tell him
just that.
don't call me for shit. My granny called me and said, "Oh, he just had surgery." I said, "Oh, what you telling me for?" I got cussed out, but at the same time, like like come on now, Queen,
Yeah. I mean, I just, like, and I think I said this last week, Trevor, and I think me and you talked about this before. It's like people always talk about, like, oh, you shorten your days on earth when you disrespect your parents. But that's, again, when they talk about in the Bible, when they say don't provoke your children to wrath, that's what some parents do.
It
So by
goes
you
both. It
choosing
goes
to
both
be
ways.
absent, huh?
Goes both ways. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
It
By you
goes both
choosing to
ways.
be absent, by you choosing to neglect me, by you choosing to pretend like I don't even exist, now I'm mad. So, however I react to whatever, that's it. And it is
That's
what
what
it
it
is.
is. What it is.
You get whatever you get. You
Yeah.
get
It
whatever
is.
you
It is
get.
what it is. Like for
You get
Match
real.
whatever you
energies.
get.
Match that
Straight
energy.
like that.
Shit, they go low. I'm going to hell, probably 3 stories below.
I'm telling you, right
That's my
behind
life
you.
on that.
I
Right
mean,
I ain't,
that's
behind you.
just it. So I guess, like, so Trail, like, what was the instance where he really let you down?
which one? How deep we want to go?
I mean, you can go deep as you want to go. This is a
Let me-
safe space.
Hey, so
Yeah.
look, Lando.
Let's
I
go.
mean,
Let's go. Let's go the deepest.
go the
Yeah.
deepest. The
Yeah.
deepest
Yeah.
was, and I'm not self-incriminating. So maybe at one point in my past life, maybe I was doing some illegal things. This man thought that we was about to be smoking rocks together. This man literally thought that we was about to be smoking rocks together. We can that's one. I think that might be the lowest. That might be the lowest. You know what? I take that back. Using my kids to try to get with my mama, that might be the lowest. Yeah, we'll put crack on top of that one. But yeah, that was the lowest. Using my after I told him, after I said, don't play with my kids. You're not gonna do my kids how you did me. So man hit me up, asked me for my mama number, said I want to see the kids. I'm like, all right, bet. The kids come up to Thomasville or High Point for the summer. Man, that mother called my mama, ain't asked my mama about the kids not once. Was trying to get my mama draws, man. And that was it. That was it. Like I wanted to fight since then. Yeah, that was it.
Because because the thing is, it's like we try to, like, give them like a little rope, and they hang themselves every time. Like, you trying to be like, okay, I know I don't really fool with you like that, but okay, I'm gonna just try to see if we could be some kind of cordial.
You
And you
try. You
still you
try.
still on some back, like, you still messy. So I
Yeah.
can't do it. I'm not able. Get
Look,
somebody else.
I can give you the top three. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the third one. This man actually accused me of trying to get with his girlfriend or saying that I was sleeping with his girlfriend at
I
one
remember
point in
that.
time.
A mess.
Wow.
Yeah, Lando. That's nuts, right? I told him, motherfucker, I wouldn't touch it with your.
Period.
Look, my mouth always been a little slick, no kidding, but yeah, and look, you got to be careful with how you talking to people, especially when they done got where they at without you being there. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, don't
Yeah.
you got to relax. I'm very humble. I'm also very self conscious of the amount of work that my mom put in to get me here. I'm self conscious with the amount of work that my family being involved with my immediate family, like them being there and supporting me. I'm very subconscious on the ones that have been here to provide, you know what I'm saying, that backdrop whenever I needed it to make sure that I was good. Like I'm very subconscious of that, very subconscious. So yeah, I mean, at some point, man, you just got to look at it like, what value do you bring? And if
No,
if the answer is nothing but takeaway, man, cut that shit off.
go ahead.
Yeah, move around.
Go ahead with
Yeah,
it.
go ahead.
Go ahead with it.
Move
So,
around.
okay, so have y'all, like, I know that Trail said he was in therapy. So have y'all tried therapy, Lindo and Blue? Like, have y'all tried it, or y'all just like kind of like bump it? I'm not gonna deal with it.
I'm in therapy. I've been in it the last almost 5 years now.
Okay.
I experimented with a few people before I found my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
that's the hardest part. Finding
and
therapists. Yeah.
yeah, so I found a black guy. He is 32 years old, lives up in Indianapolis. That's where I moved from. So we, do these types of sessions these days. But yeah, it's been going on about 5 years now. And, early on, I couldn't necessarily see the value it provided, but those seeds hadn't been planted long enough. So now, 5 years later, it's beautiful flowers and trees and all that type of shit that are coming from all of it, and it just makes me want to keep at it, moving forward. And I'm a spiritual person. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't necessarily say I'm the most religious person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but therapy that kind of speaks to an aspect of me
Mm-hmm.
that is just it's good enough for me, and I can cope, you
Yeah.
know, good enough, well enough, just through that by itself.
What about you, Lindo? Would
I'm
you
gonna be I'm gonna be like 100% honest.
go ahead?
I um I did therapy, but it wasn't for that situation. It
Okay.
I've never um I think it was kind of like dealt with. You know what I'm saying? I've never had the emotion to care for after I reached a certain age. I don't know like how it works, but you know what I'm saying. I just forget that he's existing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All I know
Mm-hmm.
is my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew to adapt to life situations. I've been in therapy, but just not talking about that situation. Never, ever.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, I told you I don't talk about that shit in therapy.
Mm-mm.
But
It's
why
still,
is it uncomfortable for you, or what? You just don't
It's
want to do it?
so, and we can go there. It's not uncomfortable for me. It's just like I feel like I've moved past that. You know what I'm saying? I've moved past in the space I am in my life. I'm content. I'm in. You know what I'm saying? I'm in love with who I am. I'm in love with my family. I'm in love with the love I'm receiving from my family.
Got you.
Um, at this point, it's just like, what can you do for me? I'm 33 years old. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? What can you do for me that you were supposed to do years ago?
Mm-hmm.
When I needed you,
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't do. Now, why would I set myself up for failure? I don't even ask. You know what I'm saying? I think, well, right before the letdown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't do my letdown, and it goes into play. I think I was back in Georgia. Um, I had needed some extra money for my rent. Can't remember how old I was. In my 20s. I
Mm-hmm.
asked him for like $200. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Say he didn't have it. Me and my sister, we talk all the time, every other day. We talking, we on the phone. She talking about she finna go get her dogs grown. I'm like, oh, okay, where you gonna get your dogs grown? She was like, oh, daddy getting it for me. Oh, really? She got two, and at the time she had two dogs, you know what I'm saying? So y'all know
And-
dogs gonna cost. The
yeah, it
$200, that
does.
was more than $200. So you know what I'm saying? What about me?
Dang.
That was you know what I'm saying? So that was a letdown. So but yeah.
So that was a question. So do y'all dads have other siblings that they're closer to when they choose to just neglect y'all?
hell no. Everybody rides.
You say everybody what?
Everybody ride.
Everybody getting the same treatment.
I think the only one that he's like close with is the one that his girlfriend like adopted.
Mm.
So yeah, everybody rides. Everybody is also a little bit more forgiving than me. Like I said, he forgiving, but I ain't fucking with you.
What about you, Blue? Does your dad have other siblings outside of you that he pretty much deal with, and he just said bump you?
So I'm gonna tell you a little short story about how life be lifing. So I have an older sister. She's a year or two older than me. No, 2 years older than me. I have a younger sister.
Hello.
Both of my sisters have the same parents. Is that resonating?
Both of your sisters got the same parents.
Absolutely. So that only means that I am the product of someone's infidelity. So the prototypical bastard child, that's me. Hi. You know what I mean? So given that dynamic, to answer the question, yeah, I have an older and a younger. And you know, they grew up in the house with him. You know what I mean? They got the full dad treatment. So, it's yeah, that's how that shit went.
Well, I'm going through that. Look, I'm going through that right now. I can't speak for your daddy, but I know I've been trying my hardest. I've been trying my hardest, goddamn. Hey, look.
So, okay, so let me go ahead, Trey. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I might be on Facebook already, but hell,
It just is what it is at this point.
Yeah, it is what it is at this point.
So Chelsea said, "Do you think that this process is sweeping it under the rug or healing by just saying bump them and moving on?"
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
Some people are that's just like, you know what I'm saying, like bringing in, like, you know what I'm saying, biblical terms into it. You know what I'm saying? Some people are built for certain things. You know what I'm saying? And I believe I was strong enough to override that feeling, so it's not as much as a pain to me, because I've been given so much love elsewhere, if that makes sense, that it negates the fact that he was missing. You know what I'm saying? My mom, she overpowered love on me like no other. You know what I'm saying? And it's and it's crazy how people be like, okay, you how you not feel, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I just don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I take the cards that were dealt and I deal with them.
Period. Straight up. So I want to get back to what Blue had said, because this is a whole nother thing. This might go past the hour. If you got to hop off.
Oh no, you good. We look.
But see, here
we on here.
Look, Lando ready.
So here's my thing. Now, this is not to disrespect nobody, but this is just a general question because we see it happening every day. Now, you said that your dad was outside and he ended up having you.
Which my mama was outside at the same time.
Okay, so now, at what point in time, because we see it happening every day, women getting pregnant from married men or men that have things at the house. So at what point in time does the accountability go back on the woman? Now, I'm just asking the question.
I'm gonna be quiet.
It in my opinion, it depends on the role that the woman chooses to play. She can play the cooperative role and a supportive role and not baby daddy bash and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or, on the other hand, she could play the opposite role. Your daddy ain't shit, talking shit all the time, There ain't nothing positive ever coming out of her mouth with regards to him. So, women can either play one role or the other. And
Okay.
sometimes they be in between depending on who get pissed off the most and shit like that. But it's really just one or the other. The one I got, the one I got was the latter.
Your
I
mom
got
used to bash your daddy.
in a manner of speaking, you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
It was subtle. It was subtle. It was kind of like there's a corporate term these days called microaggressions. Kind of like
Yeah.
that. Kind of
Yeah.
like that. Those types of things, even, let's say, for example, and I remember the times when we were younger, it was crazy. It's kind of crazy because I grew up knowing my father, who he was, but I always thought he was a friend of the family. We had a fucking Maury situation when I was in the 7th grade. Like, I shit you not. My mama set me down on the bed and shit and said, "You this person you thought was your daddy ain't your daddy, but this nigga over here who you done known your whole life is your daddy." It was like that. So I forgot where we was going with this.
That ain't fun. That ain't funny.
No, that's not.
No, it's
But
funny
that's
as hell.
smart.
It's funny as hell. It
It's
is.
funny because the way he's saying it, like,
it's funny as hell.
but it's not funny.
Because that can play a lot on a child's mental. Because you said you was how old?
No, it does. Oh God, like I was small. I was like 7-ish, 8-ish then. But going back to what I was saying, like I would go over there and we'd be playing shit like that, and they'd be in the house. Like, they used to call the shit reefer back in the day, that old ass term when it comes to weed. They called it reefer. But she would leave and go do her shit elsewhere and leave me there. And then she come back to pick. It wasn't a, did you have fun? She asked me if I was okay. Did I eat? Did he feed you? Those types of things. So those are ways that you can subtly put thoughts into a kid's head about whether they are safe or not, whether they're in a good space with people or not, and so forth and so on. So, my mother is a lot of great things. You know what I mean? But when it came to that, that's probably one thing that I wish she would have done a little bit differently.
At what time did you realize it, or at what point in your life did you understand that? Like, how old were you?
I was probably quarter century, 25, 26, 27, somewhere around there. When I finally had the realization that, I really wish you would have taken like that path instead of the one you took, because I had to build myself and my thoughts back to kind of dismay that shit or dismiss it, and to, kind of go with what go with what you've seen, what you've experienced, not what somebody else says. You know what I mean? So that's kind of when I realized that for myself. So yeah, that's when that happened.
Miss Denisha said,
read Nakelia's first before you read anybody else's.
Which one? Oh, Naisha. Naisha said, "Did your dad?"
No, not Nakelia's, because about the behavior. It's something
I like Naisha's though. I want to get back to that one.
What? Nakelia?
But go ahead.
I think they all talk about the same thing.
Nakelia not on here. Is Nakelia on here?
Nakelia was on here, yeah. Okay, but yeah, that's what it is right there. They question
This
right
the
there.
one, yeah. How did your dad absence affect your? Did it make y'all act up?
So this goes back to that other question that we had.
Y'all need
what did you miss?
Yeah.
What did you miss?
Let's talk about
right?
it.
So one of the things that I missed was how to handle conflict resolution, not only with others, but within myself. You know what I mean? So for me, I was that person that needed a certain level of discipline. And that's not to say that I was out here fighting everybody, doing all this type of shit. I'll speak to what your brother said a little bit. in a past life, I might look like this and I might have a job that I do and all that bullshit. But there was a certain point where, I had to make some real life decisions. And, as a result of that, people were adversely affected. So,
Mm-hmm.
not to say that he could have or would have steered me off that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But who the fuck knows?
Right. You would
Who
never know.
knows?
That's the wonder. Yeah.
So that's all it really comes down to. You don't know what could have happened or where you could have gone, shit like that, because you missed out. You just missed out.
Yeah.
But did you really miss out? You know what I
Not
mean?
really. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. You did miss out on certain things. Now, am I a better person today because I did go through that experience? I would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would say yes, but it's also yes, I missed out.
I got
What
you.
about you, Linda?
What was the question again, baby? I'm drinking.
What? Y'all crazy. Did your dad's absence impact your behavior? Like, did you do like attention seeking behaviors, or you was just like, I don't care if I.
Mm, this is a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really good one. I will say, because of the absence of my father, um, like when I used to date, I used to seek, like in my earlier years, I used to seek love in the guys that I were dating just for the hell of it because I was missing that fatherly love. You know what I'm saying? So when I was younger, I was dating, I get into a relationship, get out, get into a relationship, get out, get into a relationship, get out. And I had to realize, you know what I'm saying, what's the pattern? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I'm trying to fill a void at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to love me in a way that you can't even love me.
Mm. Dang. I think I
So
think I think heterosexual men can say the same thing too, though. Like if I mean, because I think that men that are highly sexual, it's like, hold on, baby, what's going on? What we got? What's Let's pull it back a little bit because it's something you're trying to find something, and it's not between a woman's legs.
like that, and it goes back into saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Little boys need their father. No
Do
matter how you put it, they need their
do.
father. They need, you know what I'm saying? They need a male figure.
Mm-hmm.
We may grow up, you know what I'm saying, without one, but we need that guidance. You know what I'm
You
saying? We
got to have
need
it.
that guidance. You know what I'm saying?
So, Trevor, did it impact? Did his absence impact your behavior? Do you think he was acting out?
Yeah,
That's why. I ain't gonna tell you a story. Go ahead.
Come on, Trail, talk your shit, cause come on now.
yeah, no, look. I was on probation at one point in time when I was younger. Yeah, before all the football and stuff like really took off, I was on probation. Actually, I think I was on probation like twice actually.
Mm.
So yeah, it did.
So you,
So
so
you think?
you go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Shay.
No, go ahead, Linda. Go ahead.
So do you feel like because you didn't have that guidance, you was stirred in the wrong direction, or you was like what was that, why were you on? I'm not saying like why were you on probation, but what led you to do those steps to where it led you to being on probation?
Yeah, so this was shout out to my cousins, man, Larry and Zan. This was before I started like going around them as much. So um shit. Lord rest his dead. I ain't finna tell all my pops business, man. But Pops was doing his thing. Like Pops was in and out. Pops was making money. You know what I mean? So Pops wasn't always there either. So I'd be out, with some of the boys just doing some dumbass shit. I remember one time, this is all I'm gonna give y'all. When we stayed on Douglas Drive, we went up to the mobile mart that's over there on what's that road up there, Shay?
Is it
Like
National
going,
Highway?
yeah, National Highway. No,
Salem
National
Street?
Highway.
Yeah, one of.
National Highway. I think it's National Highway. Me and a couple of the guys, no names be told. We went up there to the gas station that they had up there, and the keys was in the trucks. Man, we was out there playing bumper cars with the motherfuckers, man. We was just on the look gas trucks playing bumper cars. We ain't know how to drive no damn sticks.
Come
Them
on
that's
now.
some trucks. Them trucks had like 16 gears, man. We was out there fucking them people shit up. Excuse my language. But yeah,
This is
that's
a
that's
mess.
just one instance. But yeah, it
Yeah.
not just doing little hard headed ass little boy shit. Well, you know what I mean? Instead of
Mm-hmm.
being somewhere doing something productive or being with a positive, male influence. Well, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, shout out to my cousins, my big cousins Larry and Zan, man, because I think after that all cleared out, I ended up being over there a whole lot more, mellowed out.
Yeah. I think that it does have an impact on I mean, I don't think it really impacted my behavior. I think it impacted me more so emotionally than my behavior. Cause I mean, I wouldn't know. Me and you was night and day. I ain't act
Oh yeah,
nothing
I
like
was,
I ain't get into nothing.
I was
Um,
this problem child.
yeah. Oh, so okay, so back to our other point, y'all, because I mean we could talk about this. Women. Women got to do better with Miss Denisha said, right, Shay, I made some bad choices when picking the father of my children. I didn't protect myself because I knew how they were at that point in time. Do I regret it? I did, but not now. I had to own it. And see, that's my thing. That and then the second part is too, if if I'm trying to say this without being offensive. Be honest about who you having your kids from. Cause ain't no way you should be what you was saying, Blue. Ain't no way you should be at that age finding out, oh, this ain't your daddy for real. This is your daddy for real. Come on now, y'all. We got to stop this stuff. And it's still
We
grown
got to
people don't even
stop
know who
that.
their daddies are.
I
We got to
remember.
stop that. We got to stop
We
that.
do,
You know what
and
I'm
then
saying? We got to stop that.
we
Cause
do, and then my
cause
thing
how
is
you
just
don't
like
know? How you
as
don't know?
yes, and as women, like having kids, don't you understand? You can mess up generations by not being honest about who you got pregnant from. About not saying your daughter and her cousin end up being kissing cousins, all because you was not honest, and that's not right.
Hello.
Think about the nigga that had to pay child support for the kid that wasn't his.
Come on now,
You
we
know
got to
what I
stop
mean?
this. This stuff is
How did that
disgusting.
financially impact his life? You know what I mean? Now, granted, fuck him. He was a Jehovah's Witness, and his mother was too. So, fuck that. As a kid, like that's not some shit you want to hear. That a
At
motherfucker's
all.
Jehovah's what? We don't even go to normal church. Like, what the fuck are y'all even doing here? And when holidays and birthdays come up, I didn't get shit. So he wasn't. Fuck that shit. I'm glad he wasn't my daddy
Rando
because
stupid.
they was on some bullshit. But
Rando stupid. Rando, come back on the camera.
Ah.
Come back, Rando.
Oh man. Oh man.
I'm so dead ass. Like, but now I you know that's all. That's
So,
all.
Linda, this is the question for you.
He seen that shit.
If your father was in your life, do you think you would have lived a heterosexual life?
Girl, stop playing with me. Don't you come up here playing with me. And
Ooh.
let me tell you something. You know I've been drinking. Don't you play with me on this mother. No, I'm just playing. No. No, not at all. I knew I was, you know what I'm saying, I liked men in primary school. It had nothing to do with him. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, this type of conversation goes, you know what I'm saying, within different people's beliefs. But I mean it just is what it is.
That's all it is.
Nothing, some people believe like, just because somebody turned out to be gay, they were touched, they were, you know what I'm saying, played with. Me, on the other hand, I was never played with. None of that. My mom ain't playing that at
Mm-hmm.
all.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I am just who I am just because I am. You know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah.
feel like if he was in my life, I'd still be gay. I still be like a nigga, still going out on dates with niggas, to still be
And
doing,
period.
things with niggas. You know, but
And on business, Lando. Fuck it.
so yeah, nah.
So it's interesting that you say that because that is the common misconception that if you are a gay male, 9 times out of 10, you suffered some trauma that enabled you to get to that point, right?
That do be the case for some, but not all. You know what I'm saying?
Not
Some of us
all, not all.
we grow up regular, you know what I'm saying? But some people, I will say, and you know what I'm saying, I do have friends that were touched by
Yeah,
family members, by, you know what I'm saying,
Mm.
whoever at a
yeah.
young age.
Bad.
And I had a conversation, like, just to go back to what you're saying, I had a conversation with them, and it was just like, he said to me verbatim, if I wasn't touched in that manner, I feel like I would have been heterosexual.
Mm.
He said
Somebody,
that
somebody got to
he
go.
said
Somebody got to meet
that
the face.
experience explored his mind to go elsewhere. So I can see where people have that, you know what I'm saying, that analogy, that thinking that, you know, that happens with, you know, guys, you know, gay guys or whatever, but not all. But some it do. It just depends
Yeah.
on the person. Everybody have their own journey.
Well, I'm saying that to say,
I want to answer that one.
full disclosure, I was molested as a child, and
Mm.
I'm a straight man. So
Oh, come on now. This some real talk right here today.
there is no
This some real
truth.
talk.
There's not 1 ounce of truth that a person that goes
Uh-uh.
through or survives some type of sexual assault is predisposition or predisposed to that's somehow connected to their sexuality. It's an asinine argument to me.
Right.
Boy,
But that's just where I am on it.
that nigga vocabulary is extended like a motherfucking stendo.
Right, okay.
Damn,
But the best part is he know how to put a cuss word in there too. Like he spiced it up. Like yeah.
That nigga talented, boy.
Yeah, for real. One of them for real.
So look, I want to answer Woody question.
Yeah.
Mine was, nigga. I did it without you, nigga. Don't don't celebrate my accomplishments.
Yeah. She said, when you reach a certain level of success, was there anything inside of you that made you say, ha ha, look what you missed out on? Or was it, look, Dad, I made it. Aren't you proud of me? Or any other thought?
2 fingers to the sky. Fuck you, nigga. Do not
What about
celebrate.
you, Blue?
It's not a thought. Like
you don't
anything good that happens to me, any accomplishment that I've gotten or will, you know, continue to get, to speak that shit into existence, he won't be a thought.
Wow. Miss Cheryl said, I'm gonna say this one more time, Lindo. You could get it. Ooh.
Word. Shoot your shot then, nigga.
Y'all going crazy on this thing.
Hold on,
she about to bring you back.
You're not catching all the comments. You're not catching all the comments. I'm looking at the comments. They going crazy in the comments.
Miss Cheryl said, I'm gonna say this one time.
She gonna bring you back, boy. She gonna bring you back.
God.
Bring him back, Miss Cheryl.
Miss Edge said that's what I was saying. Vocabulary is crazy. It is. Miss Denisha said, bye, Cheryl. Hey.
Bring him back, Cheryl.
She said one more time, baby. She done said that before.
One more time.
My God.
Look, my guy on today.
Miss
Denisha would say.
Wow, y'all. This is really. Oh, hey. I'm stuck. I'm stuck at the part what Blue just said on this thing.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Blue. So how being that you were molested, right? How did that play on your mental as in far as in maneuvering on to
I'm sorry.
Realizing that you were molested, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a mental thing. Realizing that you were molested and trying to move forward and continue your heterosexual lifestyle.
First, that last comment that I saw.
She said Cheryl and he. Miss Cheryl said, call me Lando.
Yo, I got a glimpse of that shit before it disappeared. Like,
oh my
that
God.
shit was funny. Okay, all right.
I'm screaming.
All right, so
like, you heard my question, right? So did you ever think like, okay, so should I try to like explore guys because that's what you was introduced to?
I don't think I let it manifest in that way. I hate to keep saying it, but that's just something else that was never a thought. Like even around the time that it happened, I was into girls then. You know what I mean? So it just wasn't a thought.
So Blue, who was it? Like, do you see this person? Like, did you do something to them? Like, did you throw acid on them?
So I've had to fight a lot of demons over the years when it comes to that. The last thought I had, and it was years ago, like I figured out where he lived. Ironically, it's the same fucking house. He lived there, lives there with his mother. And he was back in the day, like, I don't know how my mom knew his mom, but it was, I guess, a situation where he could watch kids. So she would take me over there, like she would go off and do what she needed to do, drop me off, and I would stay there until she came pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
But the details and all of that, like, I still get triggered from time to time, especially when I hear about, a kid being molested on the news or something along those
Mm-hmm.
lines. It triggers me a little bit. But at the last time I honestly thought about it, like, I I gamed down, like burning the fucking house down with him and his mama in it. And
Whoa.
it got to the point to where I was sitting in front of the house, just kind of off, you know what I mean? And I filled up the gas tanks, like I was ready to do it, and to ride off in the fucking sunset and be completely okay with what I did. You know what I mean? Um,
Wow. Jeez. So like, have you
and I had
like?
to have.
Oh, his thing froze.
I froze. Who
Yeah, I
froze?
think you back now. So have you like?
Oh,
But
okay.
have you saw him like out in the city? Is he like local?
No,
Or
no. Yeah, he's in High Point right now. Absolutely.
But
Over
we
over
right
off
you
next
of
door.
bypass the question.
over.
Who is the person to you?
Oh,
Who's
he's
a
nobody
family
to
friend?
me. Or I guess, like, my mom knew who he was, but it's not somebody that I'd ever met before I started going over there.
So when you told your mama, what did your mama say? Did she believe you or she thought you was lying?
I never told her.
Oh,
Well,
uh-uh.
I have to this day, but it was, yeah, it was years and years and like I told her maybe like 6, 7 years ago.
This is sad.
Yeah.
This is
So
sad. I hate this for
Real,
you.
Real need to be stopped.
You sure said blue
Real
ass
need to be stopped. You about to pull up the tangle.
the Django. She said that's heavy for a child to carry. That
Yeah, yeah,
is.
that's heavy. That's heavy. You
yeah,
said seven
it
years ago,
is.
nigga. You almost 40.
Yeah, and you just not
Yeah.
talk. That's sad.
Yeah. So,
So
that
this
one
was.
was
Go ahead.
a
I'm
little bit
sorry. Go
more,
ahead.
those thoughts and every detail that I remember to the T, like I buried and suppressed that shit like so deep in my head. Like I wasn't comfortable with telling anybody no shit like that. Like nobody, not a fucking soul. As far as I'm concerned, up until 7 years ago, that shit was going with me to the grave. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
that's
Got
the
you.
way I thought about it then. But
Mm-hmm.
in over I would say the last 8 years, I started to work with kids myself a little bit more. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the kids, I used to work for a nonprofit. We ran programs and educational programs. Um, one of the kids got to talking on a random topic one day, and something happened at school that they all went to that day, and it was a heavy topic for them. You know what I mean? So we gave them to the space to let that shit out, say whatever their thoughts were, whatever. And it was surrounding the sexual assault topic. So she started to go into detail and they started to elaborate and shit like that. And while I'm sitting there, like trying to be the person that they can dump all that onto,
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I was having my own thoughts and my own processes and shit like that at the same time about my
Your
own
own experience.
experiences and how I was processing that again at that point.
And it's crazy because it's like we were always. Well, I'm not gonna say we because my mom always told us. My mom, because we had a family, we used to catch the bus from somebody's house, and they used to say like, well, go on this house, stay in this house. And I think I said it before on the pod, like My mama did not play that. Like, and I never subscribed to that. Like, I'm one of those kids that if it go on in this house, I'm telling my mama. I don't care. And if it's something that made me feel a certain type of way, I'm definitely telling my mom. I don't care if it's somebody acting funny towards me, somebody hit me, somebody. I'm telling
Well,
it.
I couldn't trust my mother. I couldn't.
Oh, that's a deep
Damn.
thing. What? Your
I
mama?
couldn't.
Come on, mom. Now we got to do better with this stuff.
No, and that's not necessarily a reflection. I at least hope not on my mother, but
Yeah.
I don't trust what the outcome of that would have been if I'd have told her. I don't
Oh,
know if I don't know if she would have not believed me. I don't know if she would have gotten mad at me. I don't know if she would have punched me in the jaw. I don't know if
mm,
she would have been supportive. I don't know if she would have been encouraging. Like, I don't know, but I do feel as if all of those things were on the table. And to bring something like that up, even back then, as young as I was, I knew that that was a tense topic of conversation. And the fact that it happened to me, no, I'm not telling you a goddamn thing.
I might need to go hit the J, and I don't even smoke.
You better not go out there and smoke that damn weed.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Dang, but no, I commend you really honestly for just sharing your truth and also not becoming what happened to you. I think Miss Tonette said, she said, I commend you for not letting that situation turn you into a predator, because that's mostly times how it happens. People that are predators or whatever, they turn into, or that word, they turn into that. So I definitely commend you for that. And
Yeah.
like I said, I thank you for sharing your truth. I think people actually are in the comments like probably blown away by you sharing that. But I thank you for being honest. Um so
Yeah, those are the type of stories that be going on Lifetime back in the day.
for real though. For real. For real. And you can even
On
blow.
some real like some real G shit for real.
Except for the fact they'd have burned the house down on Lifetime.
They would have
They'd have went
definitely
ahead
burned the
with
house down on Lifetime. And they would have definitely found that man and threw something on him.
it.
We riding at dawn.
And you said you got kids.
He got a
One.
baby.
One.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how did that play a role in like with you and your baby mama? Like did that, like with your dad, with the relationship with your dad and the situation where you got somebody took advantage of you as a baby or as a child, not as a baby, I'm sorry. Like, did any of this play a role into like with your son, like how you said earlier you overcompensate? Does all that
Mhm.
stuff play a role into like how you are with your son?
As much as I would like to say I try not to let it, it does seep in sometimes, but I'm conscious enough to let that be in productive and positive and forward thinking ways, as opposed to having that come out of me in some type of negative way and having him be adversely affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I try to be pretty intentional about what I'm telling him, the lessons, and all of that, but also practical and fun loving and all of that too, because
Yeah.
they need that just as much as they need. And I think a lot of parents, they get that shit gets lost on them. But like the way I grew up, having a kid in my immediate family, having a kid, it wasn't a joyous thing. It was more so a go outside, go do this,
Yeah.
go do
You on
that.
my nerves. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I try to think back, like, was I really on the motherfucking nerves like that, or
Yeah.
is it you? And like, it's your shit that you need to work out with your therapist that you never got, and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Um, who knows? But that was the environment that I grew up
Yeah. Woody said this may have been answered prior to me joining. However, was your father's absence a catalyst for your premature development into manhood?
in. Whew.
Yeah, baby, Woody, you should have been on it in the beginning, baby. We didn't answer all that. We didn't. We
Woody
didn't
said
answer all that, baby. You didn't. You late to the party.
Woody said this might already been answered. Woody, yeah, we already answered that, sis. I think they pretty much said that it was. Miss Cheryl said I was so scared to have a daughter. I remember taking Jalen to Denisha house crying because I thought someone touched her, and there wasn't anything that made me think it was just I was just paranoid. Dang, this stuff happening.
It's a rough time. You know what I'm saying? That we
It's
living
sad
in.
out here.
You just never
Some sick
know.
motherfuckers out there, basically.
You just never
It
know.
is. It's sad. It's sad. But at the end of the day, what we on here for? First of all, daddies take care of y'all kids. That's one. Mothers, tell y'all kids who they come from now. We got to stop this stuff now. We got to stop this. Now. We do.
Tell
And
them where they come from.
We don't snacks. You want me to be
tell
eating
them where
all
they
this
come
shit.
from. Now, do y'all have y'all watched Paternity Show?
Who?
The paternity show where the judge be reading
Bruh,
out.
I can't keep watching shit like that. Like it fucks my mind up. Even like we got enough of that shit watching More You Are and Are Not the
Man,
Father back in the day. We caught enough of that shit then.
come on, y'all. We got to, as a
But you know
community, we
what?
got to
I feel like now with everything going on, if you're man enough to lay down, you know what I'm saying? Lay down, do what you do.
clock it.
Go ahead. Go
Clock it.
do your big one. But when it's time to really you know what I'm saying, face the facts that you have made something, a
Mhm.
human being, that becomes a different segment of life. You know what I'm saying? So do what
Absolutely.
you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And not even not you know what I'm saying, not as for us grown people, you know what I'm saying, for our younger generation. This is what I pray for our younger generation, for the people who are out here making kids,
Mhm.
that you do right by your spring, your offspring.
That's it.
Do right. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want your child or any child
Mhm.
growing up having to deal with these. You know what I'm saying? Deal with these problems
This
because
stuff.
it's a mental thing, and then it's a long life living situation that where that person has to deal with whatever it may comes their way.
Mhm.
So if you're man enough to lay down and do what you do in that bed, be man enough to take care of that child for 18 years and further.
For the rest of
That's
their
all I
life.
got to say on that.
And not only that, we all know in this thing how to make a baby and how not to make it. It's more ways to make one than it is not to make one. So at the end of the day, it's like, listen, get this together. Get this together. And too, like to the younger generation, like understand that intercourse, having sex, that stuff is serious. And it ain't even about a baby no more. We talking about stuff that to some of you Clorox can't get off.
You can't come back from.
So we got to take this stuff serious. Like when it comes to talking about having sex,
Now,
go ahead.
I'm gonna take the alternate route. I want y'all to fuck like rabbits as much as y'all can. I want y'all to be as reckless as the fuck y'all can be,
Oh,
and
I'm about to block.
I want some of
Let me get
y'all
him off
to
here.
perpetuate
Hold
the
on, hold on.
cycle.
You said fuck rabbits?
I want
No,
fuck
he
like
said like
rabbits.
rabbit.
Oh, fuck like rabbits. Hey, come on now, Shay, get him up off of here, baby.
Ain't
Go ahead,
nobody on the
man. Him up off that
bestiality.
long.
Goddamn. But no,
Well,
the reason I say that is because, I want our people to live, love, share, and procreate. Because white people are trying to take us to a place and where we, don't want to go. And I'm not going to get too political, but the
I
more of
want
us it
to. No,
is,
I don't. Not tonight. I don't.
the more of us it is, the better off I think we all will be.
No, I want.
But
I don't want to
do it
talk about.
responsibly to some extent, but do it.
I don't want to talk about that tonight with him because he gonna piss me off.
Oh God, let's not go there. We're not going
We're
there.
not going there. Anyway,
Before before we what are we finna do?
look, Miss Cheryl said, "Let them like rabbits." Call me now. I am
Miss
Oh
Cheryl,
so
baby,
shit!
that time has passed, baby. I don't even look at y'all the same.
Oh God, what is that?
mm-mm.
What does that rejection feel like?
What?
To know that, and I'm not necessarily saying like in that case, but to for a female to want or say they want something, but the dude or the woman or whoever, they're just not interested. Like, what does that level of rejection feel like?
He don't want it.
But
That's
you know,
not what he wants.
I get hit on by a lot of females. You know what I'm saying? They already know what the case is, but you know what I'm saying? It's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? I am still a man. I'm still, you know what I'm saying, masculine in some sense. You know what I'm saying? I have my ways, but
Miss
you
Cheryl,
know,
he
they
shouldn't have hurt
still,
your
you know what I'm
feelings
saying?
like that.
They still be young. Let me tell you something. Don't get it twisted, because some people, you know what I'm saying, they'll fool around with the fool around. But I don't even fool around with the fool around, so it ain't even that type of time.
Miss Denisha said, Cheryl. Miss Cheryl on here is going crazy. Miss Cheryl said she gonna get you.
She's talking about Cheryl horny.
Miss Cheryl said I'm gonna
Miss
get you.
Cheryl. Miss
Oh
Cheryl trying to
God.
get me to come to her house.
Miss Charlene
Miss
said,
Cheryl wouldn't know what to do with me if she had the chance.
so okay, so you and Cheryl have to get in each other's inbox. But I wanna thank y'all for hopping on here, Blue Lando Trip. I wanna thank y'all for coming on here, sharing y'all experience, sharing y'all story. This definitely was good tonight. I know Miss Denisha said she was trying to get off here all night. But no, this was good. I want to thank y'all for being on here and being honest. Make sure y'all comment, like, share, subscribe to the podcast. This was definitely good. I'm definitely gonna go back and watch this one. But I want to thank y'all again for everybody that watched. And I hope y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all in the next podcast.
Everybody go grab her rose.
Oh wait, hold on. So how can everybody follow y'all on Instagram? People that, if y'all want to share y'all thing.
Trail, come on, man.
Everybody go grab her rose.
Miss Cheryl,
Oh, not the rose.
Look,
Yep, the hoes love the roses.
I got it now.
Oh man.
Y'all, my mama,
crazy.
look, my mama talking about what's the rose. Come on now, it's time.
Oh
We gotta stop
God.
playing.
Oh, they growing trees.
We gotta
Oh,
stop
God.
They
playing.
growing bushes.
Right. But all right, y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all in the next video. That's